Alrighty, so that truck right there is is part of a fleet that belonged to Catroci wholesalers, the Catroci greengrocers or whatever, fruit and vegetable dealers. And my dad used to, I don't know if he drove that one, he may have driven that one at times, but he used to drive those trucks in the early 50s. He worked for Catroci's, and in the early 1950s he used to take one of those trucks all the way to Niagara Falls to pick up loads of fresh fruits and vegetables in the summertime. And this is before the 400 series highways were around or anything. Anyway, that's a late 40s Dodge Fargo. The whole fleet was Dodge Fargos. And anyway, yeah, my dad, he used to drive one of those. Yeah. He was telling me a story one time. He had to go to Niagara Falls sitting on a Coke crate, on a wooden Coke crate, because they'd taken the seat out of the truck, because they were doing some work on the truck, I guess, and they'd taken the seat out of it, and they hadn't finished the work when it come time for him to go. So he had to just take a wooden Coke crate and put it in there and sit on it. He went all the way to Niagara Falls and back on a wooden Coke crate. It used to take him a couple of days to make the trip. One day to get down there and the next day to come back. He'd stay in a motel overnight when he made that run. But anyway, there's one of the trucks from that fleet anyway. And chances are my dad did drive that at one time. That he probably drove that exact truck at one time, but I have no way of knowing that. I know they had a few of them and that he drove their trucks, so I'm guessing that he probably did drive that at some point. Anyway, that's like a late 40s Dodge Fargo, that is. But yeah, anyway, yeah. Anyway, Catroci's now are located here. They're having an event at the old railroad station, and I guess they brought their truck over there to display. They used to be in Perth when my dad worked for them in the early 50s. And in fact, the first day he worked there, he made himself sick eating bananas, because they had a policy that if you worked there, you could eat as many bananas as you wanted. And everybody made the same mistake. Everybody that worked there gorged themselves on bananas the first day, and they got so sick doing it that they would never eat bananas again. My dad, I never saw my dad eat a banana. He couldn't stand them. Even the smell of a banana would turn him off, you know. Just hated the things. But see, when he was growing up back in the 40s, a banana was a rare treat, eh? You didn't get bananas, you know, they weren't that easy to come by. Everything was rationed, and a banana was kind of an exotic fruit. I just noticed there's a little hole there in my cap. A banana was an exotic fruit, so you didn't just you know, be eating bananas. You know, now people buy them by the bunch and eat them and think nothing of it, but it wasn't that way in the 40s anyway. And so people of my dad's generation, when they had access to unlimited bananas, you know, it was a little too much temptation. Anyway, like I say, that's one of the trucks down there that my dad used to drive. That's what it looked like. It's all restored, of course, but he told me a story one time too about one of his co-workers took a load of garbage from the store to the dump, and in those days they used to burn the garbage, and so the dump was just always on fire. You'd dump your garbage out into the fire basically, you know. Anyway, I guess the truck had a wooden box on it, and the wooden box took fire while the guy was dumping the garbage out. And then he tried to put the fire out by driving the truck. He thought if he just drove the truck fast enough, it would put the fire out. So he started driving the truck across the dump, you know, and trying to get thinking the wind would blow the fire out. Well, of course, all that happened is it made the fire worse. And the guy ended up burning down the truck, and he got fired. But that was one of my dad's friends that he worked with anyway, but that happened to. But he was glad it didn't happen to him anyway. But he felt bad for the guy because he knew it was something that could easily happen to anyone, really, you know. But, yeah, I guess he got a little too close to the fire when he was dumping his garbage or something, I don't know. But anyway, so one of those trucks did burn down, but the rest of them survive. Alrighty. Yeah. Alright, anyway, that's it. That's it. It's time to leave. Time to make like a tree and leave. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's a little rough in through here. Anyway, they got something going on here, but there's the old truck. Neat to see anyway. Especially to think that my dad probably drove that truck when he was young, and if he didn't drive that exact one, he drove ones just like it, because they had a fleet of identical trucks. So, all right, oh, they got a sunshine on their car, they do. Yeah. All right, I'm going to hang up the old phone now. Got to go to Perth. See y'all later.